Things are not going to plan. Uh, Before I talk about perhaps the obvious point of this video, I'm going to talk about the attempt at this mustache. It's a pretty bad attempt, gotta be honest, and the only reason I'm doing it is because I know at home Melissa wouldn't allow me to have one, so I'm just experimenting a little bit, and I know she hates it, and the thought of her hating it makes me happy. So that's why I'm keeping it until I get home and I get told off. Anyway, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Uh, my voice, which is horrific, and the fact that I haven't posted on YouTube or Instagram for the last week while being out here in Valseny on altitude training camp ahead of the European Champs. It's not been going well. That's probably the brutal honesty. It's a shit show. So essentially, got here, was feeling good. Leon turned up a few days later, and we believe that he picked up COVID at T100 London. And then a few days after he got here, I started feeling a bit rough. Thought it was just going to be like a common cold. Be over it in a few days, but I have now had 5 whole days completely off training, and it hasn't even been like enjoyable as well. You know, it's not like 5 days off in the mountains. It's kind of a bit of a holiday. It's like my throat feels like something's burning through it. I can't sleep. I feel horrific. It's just been really, really horrible. I mean, last night, I'll be honest, I had a little cry because I just didn't know what else to do. Even just talking now, it hurts. So the prep, I had it in my head, it going so perfectly for Europeans, and I've always responded well to altitude. But I guess this time, slightly different, unfortunately. So yeah, Tallinn is in just under 2 weeks. I'm going to be completely honest, it's not really realistic that race is going to go ahead for me. I would love to think that, by tomorrow I can start training again, and if that's the case, then I can potentially pull together an okay race and an okay performance, and I've been kidding myself with that mentality for the last few days, and I haven't been getting better, so I'm not saying 100% the race won't happen, but right now it's not looking very likely, unfortunately. The other reason why I don't really want to admit that it's over before it's over is because I got family members coming out to Tallinn with me, and they've obviously spent money on travel and money's been spent on accommodation and everything, so it's like I'm not only letting myself down, I'm letting them down. So that's what's really frustrating with this whole thing, is like, yeah, I had two good results, and I wanted to carry that positivity forward and prove that, yeah, I've got more in the tank and I've got more there. But yeah, life throws shit at you, doesn't it? And this is just one of those moments, you know. So I've gone through those periods where I'm just frustrated, negative, and not feeling good, and now it's just like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to keep rested, taking some medication, and just hoping this thing disappears quickly, because it is pretty horrible, not gonna lie. And seeing the guys out here smashing the training while I'm literally just sat here not doing anything is like, it's really tough, really tough. So, like I said, Tallinn maybe won't happen, and I'll be honest, I mentioned doing Ironman Barcelona in October. Realistically, I don't think that will happen either. And that was always going to be a question mark anyway, really. And so maybe 1 or 2 more 70.3s in the sort of near future. Don't really know what that's going to look like. And then essentially just a big build up for the 70.3 Worlds at the end of the year. It's kind of frustrating to not have the opportunity at another championship event like the Europeans, where I'd be like at full capacity. If some miracle happens and I feel absolutely fine tomorrow and I can scrub together a week and a half of okay training, then maybe it still happens. But the way things are going right now, probably unrealistic. And I'd still probably I'd still go into the race a bit undercooked, but you never know. You might still be able to surprise yourself, but yeah. Very, very frustrating to say the least. So essentially, I'm not really thinking too much about racing now. I'm really prioritising trying to get over this thing because it sucks. Oh well, serves me right for planning things like so to the T and so perfectly. And in my head, I had such a clear vision of how things would go, and then life's like, no, you're all right. I hope everyone out there is feeling better than I am, and thank you for the continued support, even though I'm not posting at all at the minute because I just there's nothing to post about apart from feeling shit. And fingers crossed I can do some training and some racing pretty soon, but I'll keep you guys in the loop, and yeah, I'll see you soon.